Hello, everybody who is here right now. This is my first official writing sprint hosting session, AuthorTube. Really excited to get some writing done today. Earlier today, I was writing with some seasoned AuthorTubers, Brooke Passmore, Natalia Lee, and Mandy Lynn. And as they were wrapping up, I thought to myself, oh man, I'm feeling real procrastinating today, and I could really use some more writing sprints. And then I thought, well, why don't I just go ahead and do it myself? It's something that I've been thinking about doing but considering YouTube for a couple of years, but specifically writing sprints for a while, because I know that has helped me with my productivity so much. So I thought, well, why not help other people with theirs if that's something that someone would like. So I guess comment if you are here. I think that I should be able to see them. I'm using something called StreamYard. And so it's all a grand experiment that I decided to try about 2.5 hours ago. I publicly committed to leading these sessions before I knew how any of it was even going to work, because that's what you should do, right? Commit first to figure it out later. That's actually antithetical to my personality. I'm usually very uh, very organized, like cautious, or I plan things out a lot. I want to make sure everything is in place and perfect before I do anything. But then I'll just have these moments where I'm like, throw caution to the wind and just do it. And I guess so far nothing really terrible has come out of that, so why not give it a shot? Oh, big hello to Natalie Griffin. You all should follow Natalie Griffin. She is a wonderful writer. She's working on some truly um, brilliant books right now. And she's a friend of mine through a local writing group that I'm a member of and a trustee for, called the Yukon Writer Society, which is in the Oklahoma City metro area, draws people from all around the area. So Natalie is a member of that group with me. And so thanks, Nat, for joining today. I'm going to set a timer. I don't want to get too chatty, so that I don't know if this is backwards or not. Natalie, could you tell me, are these things backwards? I can't tell. I went to all of the trouble of putting together this beautiful letterboard. This is the name of my podcast, the Making Your Impact podcast, which Natalie has been on. And then I set it up and I was like, oh, I think that this is all backwards. I can't tell. So I thought that this is what I'm going to use for my timer. I don't have a real, it's backwards. Natalie confirms. All right. Well, we're all going to test our cognitive skills by reading things backwards today. I have faith in everybody. This is going to be my timer. I don't have an actual timer like my mom has in her kitchen. Would probably be really useful and not expensive either. But this will do us for today. I think I've got my cold brew. I'm all set here, everyone. I've got cold brew. Probably too much, honestly, for a Sunday afternoon. But I got to keep my energy up because I want to get a lot done. I've got some water. I've got my cup of pens, pencils, and highlighters, depending on, because I'm mostly editing today. Something that I wrote before, and editing, and also probably writing some new sections. Just going to kind of see how that works out. I have this candle, Cedar Magnolia, which is a really nice part summery, part autumnish scent, a nice crossover scent. It's super hot here in Oklahoma City today, which is not my favorite. I would call it my least favorite. We had these great storms roll through on the last couple of days, and I'm like, I just want some more of that. But they weren't violent, destructive storms. At least I don't think they were. They weren't for me. And I love that kind of weather for writing. It just gets me in the mood. But super hot and sunny, not so much. That's why these sprints help me get things done, because it just kind of gives me that little extra added motivation. Let's see, anybody else drinking coffee out there or tea? Natalie says you can never have too much coffee. I know her personally, and I know that she really lives by that principle. Anybody have candles burning? What are the like most important things for you to have for your writing sesh, other than presumably your computer? I've got my printouts here. I've already started working on a little bit. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to start out with just a 15-minute sprint. Let's see, I got a little banner here. Also, something that I always do is I like to listen to either ambient noise. So if the dogs are barking next door, behind me, all around me, really, I will do like a rain sound. But then also I like to play like a kind of the chill beats style music, which you can find on YouTube, all kinds of great playlists. You can even combine them if you pull them both up on YouTube, which is nice. So let's see, I'm going to start out with a 15-minute word sprint. I will mute my microphone. And I have been into, it's kind of funny, there's a YouTube channel called Fantastic Music. They just put it out there, exactly who they are. And so that's what I've been listening to today. I'll put a link to it. I should be able to put a link to it in the comments. We'll see. I've seen other people do it, so maybe I can as well. Let me add this new ticker. There we go. All right. Thanks for hanging in there with me. And I got my timer set for 15 minutes. I can't play my music on the screen because YouTube will mute it out anyway because I do not have a license to play the music. So we will all just find our own lists. I'll just go ahead and add that playlist here. Natalie says she has been cut off from coffee today. By whom, pray tell? Was it your husband making a recommendation? Are you self-moderating? A glorious candle from Solterra. Oh my, a lava lamp. That's interesting. Never thought about a lot. I guess that really creates a mood, doesn't it? Okay. All right. Well, my friends, whoever else is watching that I don't know about, we are embarking on an adventure together right now. You and me embarking on an adventure because this is the first time that I'm hosting a word sprint on YouTube. It's pretty exciting. All right, here we go. I'm gonna mute myself, start the timer, and then I'll be back in 15 minutes. I'll try not to startle you when I come back on. I'll try to gently say, hello, time is up. Because I've been startled before, and it's fine, but we'll give it a shot. Okie dokie, friends, let's give it a go. Hello. Do not be alarmed. Our time is up. The 15-minute sprint is over. Who got something done? Anyone? Anyone? I did. I will say first I tweeted out about the sprint. That's what I did first. But then I got to work with editing and rewrites, and even in the little bit that I got done, I really like the direction that I'm headed. So see, I hadn't gotten there earlier today. The sprint's already working. Anyone else? You can let me know in the comments what you're working on, if you want to share a little bit about what you're doing. The traditional use of NaNoWriMo is to write a novel. So NaNoWriMo stands for National Novel Writing Month, which is in November. And then NaNoWriMo is the name of a nonprofit that grew around National Novel Writing Month to create challenges and platform and a community to help writers achieve their goals. So in addition to November, which admittedly is a tough month with holidays coming up, but you know, I've used NaNoWriMo and really benefited from it in achieving some writing goals, but I know that some people have a harder time with it. And so they introduced Camp NaNoWriMo. It's been around for a while. And so in April and July, they have camp. And so it's like a campy little theme. And you can go to their website, actually. I think it's just nanowrimo.org to learn more about it. But I am not working on a novel. I am working on a memoir. And that, oh, here's my correction pen. That's actually what I used. I broke the rules, and I used the first NaNoWriMo in November 2017 to make my first very rough draft of this memoir. And now's the time. I'm really working on that and building it up. Okay, what did Natalie say? Didn't get much done in the way of writing. Gavin came in. Okay. Oh boy, leave it to Gavin. Gavin is a good guy, so we'll allow it. Okay, but ready to make some major progress. Nat, are you working on your most current work in progress? I don't want to announce it for you what it is, but let us know. So Natalie has one novel drafted and is querying, which is a hard word to say. I believe is a stage she's still in for that. And that, of course, all got delayed due to this crazy year that we're living in. But she's already onto something else. And I won't say it, but she came up with a title for it the other day, which is a big deal. It's a real big deal. All right. I'm just going to spend a couple minutes. What else can I share with you? So my memoir is about my life as an activist. In addition to writing, well, more than writing, my full-time job is I co-founded a nonprofit, and I co-run it with my two fellow co-founders. It's called the Dragonfly Home, and we serve victim survivors of human trafficking in Oklahoma City. So that's my full-time gig. And a few years ago, it just occurred to me that like this whole being an activist and trying to help people who are oppressed or, in all kinds of different ways, or having a cause that I fight for has just been like part of my DNA since I was a kid, and then all throughout my childhood into adulthood. It's just really like in the fabric of who I am. So that's what my memoir is about. That's what I am working on. Natalie, I'm working on The Killer's Flaw. Oh, she shared it. That is the title of the book. Secretly hoping to finish the first draft this month. You have, oh my gosh, you have so many projects going on, Nat. That's great. I mean, I knew this, but even to have you just say it succinctly like that is pretty cool. That's awesome. Well, anybody else who wants to toss into the comments what they're working on, I would definitely welcome it. I say we go ahead and get started with another sprint. Let's see. Oh, let me change up my banner here. Also, if you have recommendations for a playlist that you're listening to, I always take that as well. I think I'm going to switch it up. I've been listening to this Tokyo Jazz Hop all day. What will I do instead? I really like the Chill Hop channel. So maybe I'll pull up of those. Anybody have any? Oh, here. Okay, well, yeah, Lo-Fi Hip Hop Radio by Chill Hop Music. That's always a good one. I'm going to share the link to that if anybody wants to listen to that with me. All right. Lo-Fi Hip Hop Radio by Chill Beats. All right. Well, we did 15 minutes last time. I usually go for these even numbered things, but some YouTubers, author tubers, do fun and whimsical amounts of time for their sprints. Let's see. Oh, we have another comment here. 3 projects at once. Nah, you can chew it. You can chew it, Nat. I have faith in you. You wouldn't have bit off all of it if you couldn't. I know you can. All right. Let's do a 17. Let's really get crazy and do a 17-minute word sprint. I don't think I've ever done a word sprint that didn't end in a 5 or a 0. I can't even believe it. I'm really going wild today. All right. Got that going. 17 minutes on the clock. I'm going to mute my microphone and then we can all get started writing. Hello. The sprint is over. 17 minutes. Did you get into what I was doing? I got heavily into what I was doing. I was seeing it in my mind. Right now, I'm writing about my childhood and reaching back into some memories of over 30 years ago. And like really trying to put myself back into that moment. I'm writing about a certain like game, sort of an imaginative play that I engaged in a lot when I was little, and really like trying to remember being in the backyard of the house we lived in at that time, which was in Waterloo, Iowa. And it was summertime. We had this huge pine tree that went way over our house, and I had a rocking horse. Now I have something in my eye. That's bound to happen to me. Excuse me, or on like this rocking horse, but it was on springs, like which would totally not be allowed today. I'm sure it was a very dangerous pinching hazard, but I had this awesome horse on springs, and I would ride it and I was like bouncing up and down on that thing, and it would like squeak, but you could get some really good bounce riding that horse. It didn't just rock. And I remember there were always like pine needles on the ground that would crunch under your feet. And I remember the smell of pine and wood. It was a very fragrant tree. And I would ride in the shade because I'm quite fair skinned. And so that probably protected me. So I was getting into that, remembering the different objects that I would use for playtime, and then trying to dive into what I would have been thinking at that age when I was young, little kid. So that was fun. I was into it. And I think that I actually wrapped up that description. That's a major thing. When I first started working on my memoir, that was one of the first stories that came to my mind. So I'm actually revisiting that for the first time in almost 3 years and actually like turning it into something. So that's exciting, and I'm going to clap about it because that's really cool. Anybody here who would like to share what they are writing about? I'm going to set the timer because I don't want to chat at everybody for too long. I'm going to set it for just 2 more minutes because I am the kind of person that I would get into chatting and then too much time would go by. And the purpose for this is writing sprints. So I don't want anybody to come on here and not get enough of those. So far I've done 15 minutes and I have done 17 minutes. So trying to think about what I should do next. If anybody has a suggestion for what they would like to do, I don't think I would go longer than 30. 30 gets to be quite a bit of time. Although I don't know if you are on Twitter, but so Camp NaNoWriMo itself hosts word sprints. If that is something that would be interesting to you at some point, I guess we could do their word sprints, but they might be in the middle of one right now. I think we can independently come up with our own. Maybe I'll do a shorter one. I will say like some days I definitely have the concentration capacity to write for like 30 minutes and just like go boom, 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 and just, knock them out. I would say that today is not one of those days. I think today I personally am going to benefit more from shorter sprints because I can be like, all right, I can focus for 12 minutes. I can do that. And maybe I'll only focus for 9 of those 12 minutes, but it's still 9 minutes, which is more than 0 minutes. But I don't think I have the concentration capacity for longer than that. So I have when I was knocking out all of these sprints, it was at the end of June, the last 2 weeks of June, where I really wanted to clear a lot of time for working on my book this month. So I recorded for my podcast, the Making Your Impact podcast, which you can see backwards here. Oh, Natalie says 23 minutes. I like it, Matt. We're doing it. So I was like, I recorded and edited and polished up and published and made all of the descriptions for and the social media for, 8 full episodes and 6 mini episodes, 14 total, obviously, if you're doing the math, so that I could have them done through the end of September, which for my nonprofit I was mentioning earlier, our biggest fundraising event is at the end of September. So it's really a relief to also have them done before that. But that was like every spare minute I had for a couple of weeks. That is what I was doing. Like I would finish up with work during the day, short transition, and move right into it. I was like on this momentum of getting that work done. And so that was very easy for me to like keep up. But then my birthday was last weekend, and my family requested that I go visit in Iowa. I took all the precautions that I possibly could because pandemic. And so I went, and that just kind of it at the same time that it was probably good to get a break. I'm kind of like, oh man, it really like halted that motivation. And that, might be okay, to, you can't exist in that space of constant going for a long period of time. On the other hand, it's been really hard in the last 2 weeks, well, 1 week and a half, I don't know, it's the 12th of July, to get back into it. So that's kind of a bummer. But anyway, I have gotten into it for sure. I maybe not with as much energy as I had before, but I can ramp back up to that. And maybe I'll do more of these YouTube writing sprints. Even if nobody watches, if it helps me, I'll do it. I will talk to no one for hours if I need to. I've been podcasting for over a year. That's basically what that feels like. It's pretty much the same thing. I know I can do that part. Well, okay. I have it set for 23 minutes. I need to go fill up my water and do something out in my living room real quick. You all keep going. I'll be right back, but we got our 23 minutes on the clock. Oh, let me get my banner updated here. I'm new to this. 23 minute word sprint. All right. Nice. Thank you to Natalie O. Griffin. You don't know that about her, but I know that about her. Natalie O. Griffin for the 23-minute thing. You know what I should do? I actually have a tripod where I could mount my phone, and then we could see how much time we have ticking down. That's for next time. All right, I'm going to mute myself. Get your playlists ready or your ambient sound ready, and let's do it. Hello and welcome to the end of our 23-minute sprint. I don't know about you, but man, did that go by fast. I'm surprised. It was the longest one we've done so far. And yeah, when it ended, I was like, oh man, I'm really into it now. At the same time, though, man, I had been yawning so much. Why? I got plenty of sleep last night. Drank all my cold brew. It's all gone. Maybe it's just relaxed afternoon. I don't know, but I was yawning a lot. But I'm really like energized by what I am getting done. Anybody else want to report progress? Oh, something that people will say is how many words they have written. That's the thing about NaNoWriMo. I don't think that I brought up before is that technically the goal is to write 50,000 words in 1 month. Natalie's going for like 75,000 words. Not in the whole month though, right? Nat, it's to reach 75,000 words by the end of this month on stuff you've been working on, or maybe I'm wrong. You have to let me know. This chapter, like I mentioned, is not brand new. And yet, actually, you know what? I have completely rewritten it. I realize I'm like, I'm not actually writing words. Actually, I am. Actually, I have written all of these are new words. The idea isn't new, but so far during this writing session, this writing sprint session, I've gotten in not very many, 663 words, but not bad. When I know what I'm writing about, I can go faster than that, but thinking through things right now. Oh, 910 words so far today. Yeah, I'm like you, Nat. I'm being a little bit pickier. What they really advise for NaNoWriMo, traditional NaNoWriMo, people know that the camps are a little bit, the rules are a little bit more lax. They advise just writing as fast as you can and not being picky about things like word choice, or editing yourself too much so that you can get the words down. And, you know, the thought behind that is if you get the words down, then you have something to work off of rather than just having more blank pages to stare at. So I'm not writing most of this fresh right now. This, like I mentioned earlier, what I'm writing right now, I originally started writing 3 years ago. So I'm revisiting it. I've learned so much more about writing since then. I have learned much more about memoir since then. And honestly, this childhood stuff, I want to make sure that I'm saying it right. So I'm talking about how the things that I played when I was a kid, it is crazy to me how much they relate to what I do in my actual work today. You know, combating human trafficking, serving survivors of the crime, informing the public about it, all these things that I played when I was a kid, when human trafficking really was not even, it would be, you know, 15 to 20 years before that even, oh no, what am I saying? Yeah, 15 to 20 years before that term even really became part of the lexicon, really like, and really was still not, would not be mainstream for a while. But all of these themes of things that I played as a kid, it's crazy how much is reflected in what I do now. And it just made me think that people should really think about what was important to them as children. I was constantly like taking action for causes. I was a little environmentalist from the ages of about 9 to 10. And anyway, I want to talk about it right because I mean it was definitely playtime and imaginative, and I didn't know obviously when I was a kid what those things would mean to me, but really it was interesting because as a child, I think what I was doing was recognizing that I had a certain kind of privilege based on the context of whatever cause I was into at the time or whatever I was imagining. And like, or another way of putting it is just like, okay, this oppression or marginalization is happening. What do I have available to me? When I was little, I had my fake plastic sword while I was playing old school She-Ra. That was my weapon against injustice. And then as I learned more and grew more, I developed more weapons, like real life weapons, like words and uh, informing communities. Anyway, so I just want to make sure that I'm putting that right. And I've been putting a lot of, oh, Natalie says, goal is to reach 75,000 total. Okay. By the end of July, and you started out with 45,000. Oh man, I have no doubt that you will do that. Absolutely. Well, let me think here. I think what I'll do is just, I mean, it's already 4:30. I've been going for an hour and a half. I think that since I'm yawning so much, I'm like, well, I should probably, here I go again. Sorry, everybody. Oh, I'm not usually a yawny person, but today I am for whatever reason. I guess I'm not getting enough oxygen to my brain. Isn't that what it's for? I should probably get more oxygen to my brain. Anyway, I think I will do one more sprint. Or what about this? What if we do a couple shorter sprints? So I got 12 minutes in my head all of a sudden. That's a brief one, but I'm gonna really try to dive right in at the beginning of the sprint and not look at Twitter, which is usually what I do for a second. See if I need to get the word out. People need these sprints, and if they don't know that they're happening, then they don't know that they're happening. They don't know that help is out there in the form of writing community. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to do a 12-minute sprint. And then we'll do one more before the end of the session. Let's see here. 12 minutes. I think I need to switch up my listening. What shall I listen to? I'm going to check out Fantastic Music. I could probably use, they have a really like upbeat things. Oh, there's a great one I was listening to. Maybe it was like a bossa nova type thing. Oh, future funk and disco. Doesn't have the word bossa nova in it at all, but it was very peppy. Oh, here's an ad, but okay. Do that. I am listening to future funk. And got to be careful about the word that you write there when you're typing out funk, if you know what I mean. Fantastic. My computer, my keyboard's a little bit off, so as I type, it's like banging on the desk. So let me move that. Fantastic Music on YouTube. All righty. Going. And posting playlist for this word sprint. Boom. Done. All right. Woo. Okay. Setting my timer. For anybody who's watching, I just want to say thanks for hanging out with me as I figure out all of these moving pieces for the very first time. Moving pieces while writing, but we're getting it figured out. Okay, I'm muting my screen and I'm hitting the clock, hitting the timer. I have to unmute myself now. Okay, I even have my phone on vibrate, and I was so into what I was writing that even the vibrate startled me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I'm just going to be startled. That's how timers work. Do you ever set a timer and you're like, I actively chose to set this timer, and yet I'm very angry that it's going off right now? That's what I experience. It's not the timer's fault, but I guess it's a shoot the messenger kind of situation. Anyway, I don't know. I was really into that playlist, Future Funk and Disco. While I was writing, it gave me some extra bit of energy to bop along while I was writing. That was good. Maybe the lo-fi beats that are usually nice because they just kind of fade into the background. Maybe that's not the thing for me these days. Maybe I need something peppier. Maybe I need something to match the hot, sunshiny weather a little bit better. Also, during that writing sprint, it occurred to me that I'd really like to have some chocolate. That's not usually something that I want. I'm not like a chocoholic or anything like that. But every so often, I'm like, yeah, that's what I want right now. So I think I'm going to place a Target. Have you guys ever done a Target drive-up order? Man, is it convenient. I talk about this on the podcast, Making Your Impact, which is all about, it's not just about inspiring people to follow their calling. That's part of it, but it's also about equipping people to do so, because that's what I've been doing for a long time, my whole life. And so I've come to learn tools and suggestions and systems that just make my life, help me organize my life better so that I have more time to dedicate to making my impact. And boy, has it really helped me personally. And it might seem so simple, but using apps, I've been doing grocery delivery for longer than the pandemic, but then everybody was all about grocery delivery during the pandemic, and for good reason. But Target Drive Up is another good option. Ooh, maybe I'll get some of these gluten-free peanut butter crackers. Oh, those sound real good. This was an excellent idea on my own part, if I say so myself. Maybe I'll get two. Have any of you been snacking during this? I had a little snack right before we began. Natalie says, yes, I always jump when the timer goes off. Even when you know it, I can look at the timer and be like, 30 seconds, and then go zoom right back into what I was doing so much that it still startles me when it goes off. Oh, well. So let's see. Any good snacks? Any good snacks anybody's been eating? Now, this doesn't maybe sound delicious, but have you ever tried seaweed snacks? They are so light and crispy and salty, and they got that umami flavor to them. You can get them in packs. I can get it at Target or Walmart. And they're just these like very wafery, airy, crispy seaweed leaves. I don't know, but they're dried and they're roasted. They're about that big. Oh man, they don't feel like much when you're eating them. It's like eating crispy air. But I'm always surprised after I get done eating those that they actually make me feel full. I don't know how they do it. Super nutritious. Very good for your thyroid because of the selenium. So there you go. Did you expect to get that bit of information while you were signed on for writing sprints? I got a lot of it tucked away. I'll try to share it when I can. Nat had some applesauce. Very good. My mom likes applesauce. She's an applesauce kind of gal. I'm guessing, though, by what you're saying, that you need to go grocery shopping is that you ate applesauce because there was nothing else to eat. I get that. I know that I'm going to be doing a big grocery shopping pickup, I guess. I'll probably do a grocery pickup from Walmart at some point. later this week because you can get big bang for your buck by doing that. And then I'll probably get some from Sprouts as well for all my specialty foods. Okay, well, I say it's almost 10 minutes to 5. How about we wrap it up with a 10-minute sprint? Just hair, just shedding. 10-minute sprint, and then we'll chat after that to wrap it up a little bit. A very successful first word sprint, writing sprint, if I do say so myself. I guess I'm a YouTuber now, just like that. Just decided it randomly today. This is what I do now. All right. But I love it. I love just talking to all of you people. I don't know if you're out there or not, other than Natalie, whom I'm very glad to have along for this journey. But I like it. Okay, let's edit my little banner. 10-minute word sprint, screen muted. I'm going to keep playing the Future Funkin' Disco because that really helped me. Got that going. And 10 minutes on the timer. Here we go. It is over. Oh my gosh, that went fast. That was good. I got to a good stopping point though. All right, let's see. Let's see how many I did today. Doesn't feel like much, but I really am pleased with how it's coming together. A little over 1,070 words today. Not bad at all. I'm hoping that later today I will, maybe this evening, I will get a little bit more inspiration to keep writing. Maybe I can get another hour in. That would be great. But at the same time, I do need to start, thinking ahead to the week. What I like to do is check out my planner for the week and make a plan for tomorrow specifically, so I know exactly what I need to dive right into. We've got a big fundraiser happening for the Dragonfly Home this month called the Future of Freedom Campaign, and so there will be more to do for that. And also, we're already starting to get things ready for our gala, which is going to be virtual this year, and that's in September. Make sure my interns, I've got 2 awesome interns this summer, make sure they know what they're doing. But it was nice to take a break from that for the weekend and let my mind, I really have to like transition, from like work mind and workflow to this. And sometimes that transition happens really fast and sometimes it doesn't happen super fast, but something is more than nothing. Oh, what does Nat say? Oh, Nat had the Forest app. I have seen other author tubers use the Forest app collectively with like 30 or 40 people participating, which ups your chances of a dead tree. So as a perfectionist, I'm like, I don't know if I want to actually do my Forest app with other people because, at one point someone sabotaged it. They kept starting up their forest and someone would kill it. Because what you do is you have an app on your phone called the Forest app, and when you sign on, you like can't use your phone for the allotted time that you set. And if you don't, at the end, you have this really cute little tree that creates a forest that you can see. But if you use your phone, then you have this like dead, withered, sad tree in the midst of your forest. And so someone like killed the forest, the same person 3 times, sabotage. But then sometimes there's someone who's like, I'm so sorry, I got a call from my kid's daycare. Like, all right, you can't go ignoring that. But yeah, Nat, we could do collective forcing. We could have done that together and it just didn't occur to me. But you can join a room for that. We can do that in the future. And Natalie got 1,434. Yes, keep going. Keep going, Natalie O. Griffin, which makes you sound Irish, like your name is Natalie O. Griffin, but that's not the case. But I kind of like it. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off for now. I'm super excited. I loved every minute of this. Even if I were talking to no one, I would still enjoy it. And I got some words in. So I'm counting it a success. So, yeah, we'll definitely do the Forest app together next time for sure. You might have to remind me, but I would love to. Okay, now that I know how to do this and I know how to make it work, I'm going to start scheduling some because that would be super fun. All right. Excuse me. Just a little gurgle for you as I signed off. All right. Thank you to everyone who joined. Happy writing. Get all those words in, and I'll see you again soon.